Perfect.
There we
Hi,
go.
everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm Laura Bramley. I am the Enterprise Coordinator for Southend City Schools and Colleges. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview on what is a career hub for the areas of Southend and for what is a career hub. So as the name suggests, we cover Southend and Thurrock in Essex, and we support all secondary schools and colleges within this area, including mainstream schools, special schools, colleges, and alternate provisions. While Southend and Thurrock are our focus areas at the moment, like Hyla said, we do also help Business Link with schools across Essex as well. Career hubs are the key to the government's aim to improve careers education, ensuring that young people have constant and high quality careers programmed throughout their education. The goals of the Career Hub is to make it easier for schools and colleges to improve how they can prepare young people for the next steps. Um, Career hubs bring together schools, colleges, employers, and apprenticeship providers in different areas across England. We support schools with career training, career CPD for teachers, so getting it embedded into the curriculum. And as a hub, we collaborate in a focused way, bringing together all the best practice and local labour market information for schools so that they're ready for the world of work. As a hub, we offer schools and colleges dedicated support and facilitate partnerships with the key employers, which can be our enterprise advisors, but also we have a cornerstone group. Career hubs are organised as partnerships between the careers and enterprise company and different institutions that have stakes in local economic growth. So it can be local enterprise partnerships or local authorities. Career Hubs teams are normally located within the partner organisations. So for our Career Hub, I'm situated in Southend, and because I won't look after the Southend part, but we have Yvonne who also looks after Thurrock, and she sits in Thurrock Council. So our team is we have 35 schools and colleges that we currently work with, which comprise of 19 schools in Southend and 16 in Thurrock, with more schools to join in September. Each school and college are matched with an enterprise advisor who offer the strategic support for the schools and colleges. And the current setup of our hub at the moment is that we have Hyla, who manages us all. And then we have 3 different enterprise advisors. So I've got myself, Yvonne, and Thailand, who all work in different areas of Essex, supporting all our schools, and we work and support our enterprise advisors as well. And then we also have a Career Hub apprentice who is Maisie, who helps with all the background stuff like setting up events and comms. So we're a small but quite a wide team across. And I'll pass you over to Yvonne.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. As it says on the screen, my name is Yvonne Evans, and I'm the Enterprise Coordinator for Thurrock. So we're going to do a little bit of a government thing where I'm going to say to Hyla, next, please. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. So lovely, thank you. So before I do my bit, I want to show you this video because it's going to show you some EAs from across the country who are just going to explain why they are an EA and what they get from the role as well. So I think somebody's got their mic on. I can just hear some background noise before we put the lovely. Thank you. Laura, can you play the video for me, please? Okay, thank you, Laura. If you could go to the next one. Okay, so what is an enterprise advisor? Well, the first thing that enterprise advisors don't do is they don't deliver activities and they don't promote or sell a service. That's what they don't do. But what they are is the bedrock of the careers and enterprise company, because without you, we can't do the job and we can't support. So what we're looking for is enterprise advisors that are passionate, who are committed, who want to do a business volunteer. So that might be that you might be a team leader at the moment, or you might be semi-management and you want to enhance your CV. We definitely need your industry background, or should I say the career leads need your industry background as well, because they need your industry background to be able to write their career strategy, so to ensure that those young people that they are working with are ready for the ever-changing world of work that we are living in at the moment. And just to give you some examples, that some of the schools are teaching young people for industries that in 2 or 3 or even 4 years might not even be there. So it is down to us with you to ensure that those young people are ready for the new world of work that we are living in. And within Essex, it is changing monthly at the moment. It really is changing monthly. You add value. So our 2 EAs that are on the call today really add value to the school. They are a critical friend to the school. So, you know, I belong to Thurrock Council, and so do my colleagues on the line. And sometimes schools may think that we've got a different agenda. Actually, we don't have a different agenda. We just want to make sure that the young people and residents in our borough that we work in are ready for the world of work, and that they can access the world of work as well. You kind of become a coach, mentor to that career lead as well, especially if a career lead has been in a school for a very long time. They're very good at what they do, which is why they're there, which is teaching curriculum, but obviously they don't know everything about the world of work, and it is really difficult for them to keep up with the pace at the moment. It's even difficult for us to keep up with the pace, and it's our job. And also you just provide an employer with a perspective, you know, for the careers lead as well. So you really are valuable to us, and we really need your expertise, and so does the schools, to get the job done, basically. So thank you. Laura, the next one. So why is being an enterprise important? So I think I've mentioned some of this. So for the young people, they really want to learn about the future. And I'll give you an example. I was in a school recently. I did a bit of an Ofsted inspection, and those young people know what they want. They could even write the career strategy for that school. They know what they want, even from year 7. So they want to talk to employers. They want to know what the world of work looks like. So that's why it's important. It makes them ready, gives young people more control on their decisions. So I was talking to year 7s. They knew what they wanted. So, you know, it's as young as that. And it proves their personal effectiveness as well, because obviously we know that you as employers don't just want to know about they can take exams. You want to know about them as a rounded person. So, you know, by going in and talking with the careers lead and giving them options and ideas on how they can have those transferable skills, and obviously it improves their outcomes for the next stage in their life. For you employers, potential link to support your talent pipeline. So basically you are helping the schools to get your pipeline of young people ready. Develop people ready for your industry. It might be an extra support with projects, a fresh perspective, as I've already said. Improve diversity, raise your organisational profile as well. So we've got lots of EAs that have raised their profile, organisational profile. We've got some that didn't even know these companies existed, which is quite a shame. support your local community as well, and obviously is CPD opportunities for you as employees as well. So thank you, Laura. So what happens if you decide to become an EA? Well, we're a really nice bunch, really. We don't just throw you in there whatsoever. So you would have, after expressing your interest, you would then you'd have to fill out an application form. And then you would have a Teams call or a phone call with the EA from the area that you want to be in, and then you'd have an opportunity to have a chat, and then you can ask any questions that you might have. Okay. And then you've got the application form. We're going to do it a little bit different this time. Then you have to do a DBS. You have to have a DBS, because with going into schools, you have to have a DBS, and you have the highest DBS that there is. Then there's an induction training. Okay, so we are looking to do an induction training early September, because we need, if you do decide, we need to get you ready and working with the schools really early on next term. Then we do an introduction to the school, and then we'd have our first meeting, and that could be face to face, or it could be over Teams. A lot of the schools in my areas are loving Teams as well, but we could do it either way. It depends on them, and also it depends where they are with COVID. We have to mention that it does depend where we are with COVID as well. But Sally, who's on the call, does all her meetings with me via Teams, and the schools that she works with, they love it and they want to keep it that way. So they've already told Sally and I that's the way that they want to keep it next year. But we work with the schools independently. Okay, so as I said, we don't just throw you in there, and there's lots and lots of support for you as well. Next, please, Laura. So what can you expect from us? So ongoing support from your enterprise coordinator, regular training and network meetings. So we do have regular meetings as well, because we want to for you to meet the other EAs, for you to work with other EAs, to be supported by other EAs as well. Regular updates and newsletters. EAs have found that really useful this year, because there is so much going on. So we like to do a newsletter, and there will be so much going on from September as well. As you know, we've got a change of ministers, so there will be lots going on as well. There will be resources, but we won't bombard you. We will only give you what we feel is needed, and also it's promotion and adding great value. So that's it. That's what we will expect from us. Laura, next, please. And on the screen now, these are just some of the companies that are working with us at the moment. So this isn't everybody. We just wanted to give you a bit of a snapshot. So you can see you've got Civil Service, you've got DWP, got the Scouts, we've got Adventure Island. So yeah, there's lots of companies that are working with us at the moment. And then we've got NHS, that's a new EA that we've got. In fact, was a careers lead and now wants to become an EA, because she still wants to give something back to the community, so which is fantastic as well. So yeah, next one, Laura, please. Okay, so that's me. So that was just quite a whistle-stop tour. Hopefully, it has given you some idea of what we do expect from an EA. So it's over to you now for a Q&A. And I think, Hyla, you're leading on this. So over to you.
Am I? Okay. Well, shall we, first of all, I'm going to put Andy and Sally on the spot a little bit here, I think, if that's okay, because I wonder if it's possible for, perhaps we'll kick off with Andy, for you just to sort of say what the EA role is for you, really, and the impact or what it means to you, the sorts of stuff you do with the school, just to give the people a bit of an idea.
Yeah, morning, everyone. Oh no, sorry, I thought you sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
Sorry, Andy, two Andys on the call. Andy Elliott is one of our enterprise advisors, I believe supporting Southend Boys, I think. So
yeah, Southend High for Boys. Good morning. I I came at it from the point of view as we're trying to promote as a business some of the training schemes that we offer, but then got involved with Southend High. The role that I play at Southend High, which it varies from school to school, the role the enterprise advisor plays quite significantly. I guess a lot of what I bring is contacts that I've made, advice from an employer's perspective on how events work best, as well as trying to make sure that there is representation of all career opportunities within the school's career provision, not just what the school stereotypically may have already promoted for a long period of time previously. I guess from an engineering point of view, working with Southend High for boys and offering apprenticeships or training schemes that are very similar to apprenticeships, it was a great opportunity to try and sort of broaden that approach to the careers education provision within the school. Careers advisor that I work with, the careers lead that I work with is very capable. Doesn't particularly need an awful lot of input from me, but the occasional meeting, bits of advice, a few contacts dropped in here and there is largely my involvement. But I know of other enterprise advisors that are inherently involved and literally sit and work with the careers lead to organise and run events. So it just varies from school to school and person to person how that relationship works.
Yeah, I quite agree, Andy. And so that's where the enterprise coordinator, so my team, comes in. So we will get to know you as both what you, from a business point of view, are hoping to get out of this, but also who you are as a person as well, and sort of the time and commitment that you're able to give. And we obviously also very much know the schools and the careers leaders who will be the main person you'll be connected to within the school. And so we'll make sure that we essentially, it's a bit of a matchmaking service, basically. So we'll make sure that we get that match as best we can, both on sort of what you're hoping for from a business point of view, but also from a personality match as well, to make sure that that's there. Thank you, Andy. And it's great. I think definitely the point that you made there about bringing the business perspective, but also the opening the eyes of the school to other alternative routes once they finish sixth form at that school, I think is really important, particularly in the school that you're supporting, and many others. Sally, welcome. I wonder if you can tell us a little bit about your experience, because you've only been an EA for probably about 6 months or so now, haven't you?
Well, a little longer. Time flies. I've just completed the first full year, as it were, with William Edwards School, and I became involved through my day job, as it were. I'm self-employed, but I work a lot with different industries. So I, see everything from sort of manufacturing to service industries, helping them to set standards of what's required in particular jobs. And my whole career really has been around bringing industry and education together. So I know that that's the magic, when you can get the two working together. I would say partly what it develops in yourself, as Yvonne was saying earlier, is the kind of coaching skills, particularly when you're online, because you are trying to identify where the gaps are. So you have to quite quickly assess the strength, if you like, of the careers, resource and leadership in that particular school. And I quickly found out in my school they are high achieving, they do extremely well with Ofsted. So you're looking at where you can add value and stretch them, really, just like you would be if you were teaching. And so what I hope to bring to this particular school is more externality, other things that they're not familiar with, other industries, other initiatives where they can go further, as it were. So it's very much with William Edwards around the kind of strategic direction of what they're doing. They're well resourced in terms of the assistant head, and also a dedicated member of staff is a careers lead as well. So they're in a good place. It's always been a challenge bringing the two together, but as I say, I think it is the externality, and in yourself, what do you bring, what do you get out of it? I think it does develop your coaching and your influencing skills, because obviously they're busy people and they want help, But at the same time, they think, oh, I can't do any more. So you're looking at ways of bringing them into new areas of thinking and new areas of work. So some of it's quite subtle, and it is quite important quickly to develop that trust, because I think schools and industry can soon sort of mistrust each other. So you are trying to do quite a lot in those initial meetings to develop the groundwork, really, and then you're off. You know, once you've got that good partnership, I think you can go to any particular heights. So I find it very rewarding. There's an element of giving back, but it's also trying to make sure, as we know that, as Yvonne was saying, you know, the world of work, it's not static, never was, but it's, you know, it's impossible to imagine what we'll all be doing in 10 years' time. So you've got to be out of your comfort zone, really. And that's probably what we're trying to do, is help people to be more comfortable in an uncomfortable scenario. So that's my piece.
So true, isn't it, Sally? For me, I think quite a lot of what the Enterprise Advisor brings to the school is exactly that. It's that external ideas, influences, knowledge, and understanding, really, that they bring, because the world of education, and my background is within the world of education, so I can probably just about get away with saying this, is very insular, it's very isolated little world, basically, in education. And so to actually have that external influence, which, let's face it, the point of education is to get young people ready for the world of work, or whatever, or however way that might seem. And so we need to have those influences that are coming in, definitely. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Andy. I'm going to stop recording.